The summons arrived on a Thursday afternoon, delivered to my dental practice between patients. My receptionist, Maria, handed it to me with raised eyebrows. Dr. Martinez, this just came for you. It looks official. I was being sued by my sister for $36,000 per year in emotional damages because my success was causing her severe psychological distress and loss of life opportunities. I read it twice, sure I was misunderstanding, but no, there it was in black and white. Natalie Martinez was suing me, Diana Martinez, for being too successful. I called my husband Marcus during lunch. You're not going to believe this. Your sister finally lost it? She's suing me for emotional damage, because I'm a dentist and she's not. Silence. Then, please tell me you're joking. I'm holding the papers right now. She wants $3,000 a month because my success makes her feel bad about herself. That can't be legal. According to this, she's claiming intentional infliction of emotional distress, unjust enrichment, and, this is my favorite, systemic familial oppression. What does that even mean? I think it means I oppressed her by going to dental school while she dropped out of community college to follow her boyfriend's band. The lawsuit was vintage Natalie. For 32 years, everything had been someone else's fault. Failed her classes? The teachers were against her. Lost her job? Her boss was jealous. Boyfriend left? He couldn't handle her success. Now, apparently, her lack of career was my fault too. The court date was set for 6 weeks out. I hired a lawyer, not because I was worried, but because I wanted this shut down properly. Shannon Reeves came highly recommended and barely kept a straight face reading the complaint. In 20 years of practice, this is a first, she said. Your sister is claiming you deliberately became successful to make her look bad? That's the gist of it. And she wants monthly payments for this. Emotional damage? Apparently, my existence is traumatic. Shannon pulled up her laptop. Let's look at her social media. Plaintiffs claiming emotional distress usually tank their own cases online. She was right. Natalie's Instagram was a goldmine of contradictions. Posts about her blessed life. Expensive vacations funded by whatever boyfriend she had that month. Designer bags. Spa days. And scattered between them, rants about toxic family members who flaunt their privilege. This one's from last week, Shannon noted. Some people think they're better than everyone because they have degrees. Meanwhile, I'm living my best life without student loans. #blessed #University of Life. That's about me. I paid off my loans last year. And this one, money doesn't buy happiness. It just buys fake smiles and empty souls. Looking at you, sis. Charming. But here she is at a resort in Cabo 2 days later. How does someone claiming poverty afford that? Her boyfriend of the month. Probably. She has a type, older, wealthy, and easily manipulated. Shannon screenshotted everything. This is perfect. She's documenting her own good life while claiming damages. Any idea what triggered the lawsuit? I knew exactly what triggered it. Last month was our cousin Maria's wedding. Natalie brought her new boyfriend, a plastic surgeon, and spent the whole night trying to impress his colleagues, until they found out I was there. And they knew me. I've referred patients to most of the plastic surgeons in the city. They spent the reception talking to me about cases, asking my opinion on dental aesthetics. Natalie's boyfriend realized I wasn't just some dentist but the dentist who owns 3 practices. Let me guess, he was less interested in her after that. He broke up with her the next week. Apparently, he wasn't ready for a relationship, but Maria told me he said Natalie spent the entire ride home raging about how I'd humiliated her on purpose. Shannon shook her head. So she's suing you because her boyfriend liked you better? She's suing me because she's never taken responsibility for a single thing in her life. The weeks before the trial were exhausting. Natalie called our parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, anyone who would listen, playing the victim. She claimed I'd sabotaged her throughout our lives, that I'd stolen opportunities from her, that my success was built on her suffering. My mother called, torn between daughters. Diana, couldn't you just give her something, to keep the peace? Mom, she's suing me because I have a job. If I give her money now, what's next? A monthly payment because I'm married and she's single? She's struggling. She's 32. At some point, struggling becomes a choice. My father was more direct. This is ridiculous. You worked nights to pay for school while Natalie partied. Now she wants your money? Absolutely not. But the family pressure was real. Aunts suggested I should help my less fortunate sister. Cousins whispered about how some people have all the luck. The narrative was forming. Successful sister refuses to share with struggling sibling. I started keeping receipts of my own. Every birthday present I'd given Natalie, usually cash because she always needed it. Every loan I'd forgotten to collect. The apartment deposit I'd covered when she was 25. The car insurance I'd paid for 2 years. The dental work I'd done for free. Total over 10 years, $47,000. Shannon whistled when she saw the spreadsheet. You've already been paying her, just not officially. And it was never enough. Nothing is ever enough for Natalie. The day of the trial arrived gray and drizzly, matching my mood. I wore my most conservative suit, trying to look successful but not flashy. Natalie showed up in what looked like a cocktail dress, sobbing dramatically into a handkerchief. The courtroom was smaller than I'd expected. Judge Helen Cooper presided, a no-nonsense woman in her 60s who looked like she'd seen everything. Natalie's lawyer, a young man who seemed to be questioning his life choices, presented their case first. The gist: I had systematically outperformed my sister, causing her severe emotional distress. My success was a constant reminder of her failures, and I should compensate her for this pain. My client has suffered watching her sister achieve everything she couldn't, he said, remarkably straight-faced. The defendant's success is a daily source of trauma. Judge Cooper's eyebrows climbed toward her hairline, but she said nothing. They presented evidence: photos of my house versus Natalie's apartment, my vacation photos versus her staycations, my wedding at a nice venue versus her string of failed relationships. The disparity is clear, the lawyer concluded. The defendant lives a life of luxury while my client struggles. This inequity has caused measurable psychological harm. When it was our turn, Shannon stood slowly. Your Honor, I hardly know where to begin. The plaintiff is essentially arguing that success is a tort, that achievement is actionable, that my client should be punished for going to school, working hard, and building a career. The emotional damage is real, Natalie burst out. She makes me feel worthless. Ms. Martinez, Judge Cooper said sharply, you'll have your chance to speak. Shannon continued, methodically destroying their case. She showed Natalie's social media posts bragging about her lifestyle, bank records showing regular deposits from various boyfriends, the spreadsheet of money I'd already given her. Far from causing harm, Dr. Martinez has financially supported her sister for over a decade, Shannon said. The only thing she's guilty of is enabling the plaintiff's refusal to take responsibility for her own choices. Then came character witnesses. My former employee testified that Natalie had asked her to steal from my practice. My cousin revealed that Natalie had tried to seduce her husband, claiming I'd stolen the life she deserved. My mother, reluctantly, admitted that Natalie had been fired from 6 jobs for various schemes and blamed me each time. Finally, it was my turn to testify. I kept it simple, factual. How I'd worked 3 jobs during college, the years of studying while Natalie partied, the risk of opening my own practice, the 60-hour weeks building my business. Did you ever prevent your sister from pursuing education or career opportunities? Shannon asked. No, I offered to pay for her to go back to school multiple times. She refused. Did you ever sabotage her employment? No, I actually got her jobs at 3 different dental offices. She was fired from all of them. Why? Theft, inappropriate behavior with patients, and chronic absence. Natalie's lawyer tried to cross-examine. Isn't it true you've always been jealous of your sister's free spirit? No. That you resented her popularity in high school? No. That you deliberately chose a career you knew she couldn't pursue? I almost laughed. I chose dentistry because I wanted to help people and make a good living. Natalie's life choices didn't factor into my career decisions. But you knew she struggled with science. She struggled with attendance. Hard to pass chemistry when you skip class to follow a band to Coachella. Judge Cooper had heard enough, but before ruling, she turned to Natalie. Ms. Martinez, she said, her voice deceptively mild. I have one question for you. Natalie perked up, probably thinking this was her chance to sway the judge. What have you done to improve your own situation? The courtroom went silent. Natalie's mouth opened and closed like a fish. I've tried, but Diana. No, Judge Cooper interrupted. What have you done? Not what your sister has done or hasn't done. What steps have you taken to education yourself, to build a career, to become financially independent? It's not that simple, Natalie wailed. She had advantages. She's smarter. She's prettier. She got all the luck. I see. And in 32 years, you've never found a single opportunity that wasn't somehow stolen by your sister? She makes me feel. Your feelings are not your sister's responsibility, Judge Cooper said firmly. Your choices are. You're asking this court to order your sister to pay you for being successful. Do you understand how absurd that is? But the emotional damage. The only emotional damage I see here is self-inflicted. You've spent so much time resenting your sister's success that you've forgotten to build your own. Natalie burst into tears, real ones this time. It's not fair. You're right, Judge Cooper said. It's not fair that some people work harder than others. It's not fair that some make better choices. It's not fair that success requires sacrifice. But that unfairness doesn't entitle you to a monthly payment from someone who did the work you refused to do. She turned to the court clerk. This case is dismissed with prejudice. The plaintiff will pay all court costs and the defendant's legal fees. And Ms. Martinez, she looked at Natalie, I strongly suggest you use this as a wake-up call. Your sister doesn't owe you success. No one does. That's something you have to build yourself. Natalie ran from the courtroom, sobbing. Her lawyer packed up quickly, probably already drafting his withdrawal from representation. Outside the courthouse, Shannon shook my hand. That was beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen a judge destroy someone so thoroughly with one question. What have you done to improve your own situation? I repeated. It's the question Natalie's been avoiding her whole life. Think she'll finally get it? Honestly, no. By tomorrow, this will be my fault too. I'll have somehow manipulated the judge, bribed the court, used my dental connections to corrupt justice. I was right. By evening, Natalie was on social media claiming the system was rigged, that successful people always win, that she was a victim of legal oppression. But something interesting happened. The comments weren't sympathetic. Our cousin Maria posted the court transcripts. Other family members shared their own stories of Natalie's schemes and excuses. The narrative shifted. My phone rang. Mom. I'm sorry, she said quietly. I've enabled her, haven't I? Always making excuses, always expecting you to help. We all have, Mom, that's why she is who she is. The judge was right. She needs to improve her own situation. Yeah, but she won't. Not as long as someone else will do it for her. A month later, Natalie moved to Arizona to live with her newest boyfriend. She posted about starting fresh and leaving toxic people behind. She still hasn't spoken to me, which is probably for the best. The bill for legal fees arrived, $18,000. The court ordered Natalie to pay it. She hasn't. Of course, Shannon says we could pursue it. Garnish wages if she ever gets a job, but I let it go. Consider it the final payment on a lifetime of enabling. You could have won the money back, Marcus pointed out. I already won, I said. A judge, in open court, asked Natalie the one question she can't answer, made her face the truth she's been running from her whole life. What have you done to improve your own situation? Exactly, and she had nothing. 32 years of nothing but blame and excuses. The lawsuit became family legend. The time Natalie sued Diana for being successful. The time a judge made her confront reality. The time the universe said enough to her eternal victimhood. I still get texts from unknown numbers sometimes. Natalie creating new accounts to send me articles about income inequality or sibling rivalry. I don't respond. There's nothing left to say. She wanted $3,000 a month for emotional damage. Instead, she got a question that damaged her more than any judgment could. What have you done? The answer, as always with Natalie, was nothing. And that's the real reason she ran from that courtroom crying. Not because she lost the case, but because for one moment, she couldn't run from the truth. The only person responsible for Natalie's life is Natalie. And apparently, that's the most emotionally damaging truth of all.